Hey guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, and today I thought I would go over my belt pouch. I've seen a couple of comments that people have seen it in the videos, and I just mentioned it in a saw video, so I thought I would go over the contents of what I carry in my belt pouch when I'm out practicing my bushcraft and spending time out in the woods. So let me reposition the camera here, zoom it in on the old stump here, and we will have a look at the contents of my belt pouch. All right, let's see here. Get your position down, maybe focus you in a little bit. That's looking pretty good. And let's open this puppy up and see exactly what we have in here. Now, I picked this up when I went to Fort Frederick, and you can see the size. It's about the size of my hand spread out, and I like that because it lays nice and flat. It's reinforced. The lid comes all the way over that top flap all the way to the back, gives it a little rigidity, and a nice belt loop that's double sewn both top and bottom. The front is just a simple toggle made out of leather and a little retention system. You open it up and we have a tie so that it's like a drawstring type bag to keep everything closed up at the top and have a smaller lid. And I'll just go ahead and pull everything out of here, dump it all out, and we'll take a look at what's here. And it's really not a lot of stuff, but the idea behind the belt pouch is you just want the stuff in it that if everything really went bad, you got caught out there, what do you need to really affect your survivability? And along with this, you know, whenever I'm out, I always have my sheath knife on my side, and I always carry some form of carrying water with me, whether that be a military canteen and cup system, or if it's my Pathfinder bottle, cup, and stove system. So those elements are covered within those two items. But additionally, inside of my bag here, I have a nice size ferrocerium rod and a stick of magnesium, a striker attachment, and a brightly colored Bic lighter. And the reason I use this color instead of orange is because in the fall of the year around here, some of the leaves can turn orange and they drop, and orange can disappear on you. But this high-vis chartreuse color does not appear in nature, and I find that it's very easy for me to find. Especially with my eye seeing colors the way they do, this stands out. So that covers my fire element. Now I always keep a lighter in my pocket when I'm out in the woods, and I also have a ferrocerium rod attached to my knife sheath. As far as a backup cutting tool, I use this right here. This is a Victorlux, a Swiss Army style. We have a nice size main blade. We have a saw. Those are the two main key elements. On the back, we have a Phillips head screwdriver, a package hook, which is kind of hard to get out of there, and an awl. I'm sorry, this one does not have the package hook, just the awl and the knife. Plastic toothpick. You've seen reviews on these, I'm sure. A little pair of tweezers. Use those in the saw as much as anything. I really like using the saw to strike my ferro rod and to scrape off that magnesium. Both a can opener and bottle opener with two different size screwdrivers and a small wire stripper down here in the bottom. We also have a little ring here for retention. I like this one because it's one hand opening and it's actually a left hand model. This is an Altoids 10, which is really an addition that I've just started carrying here lately, just because it's fishing season and I like fishing, and if I'm going to get stuck out and I have to trap or fish, I prefer to fish And I've got a little bit of cotton in here that of course can be used for several different things. I have some small gold Aberdeen fish hooks in here, small enough to catch about anything. Remember, when it comes to fishing, small hooks catch all fish, big hooks just catch big fish. I have one strike indicator, of course you can make more of those. I have 25 feet of 20-pound Spectra Fireline, some small pieces of split shot, and I believe there's 9 hooks in there altogether. So plenty of hooks for just an emergency, or if you happen to be out and the opportunity presents itself that you just want to try your skill and procure a couple of fish. And I keep that in just a piece of bicycle aluminum inner tube and a Ranger band over the other end, just to keep that together, and the cotton keeps that quiet. I keep some number 36 tarred bank line. I have a toggle here on the end. Toggle is useful for many things, everything from using as a handle to pull the line, to getting my water bottle out of the fire, to a trap trigger, to a fishing trigger, on and on. But cordage, GU Energy Shot, that's my food supplement. This is what I use. Of course, you know that I'm a diabetic, which brings me to this. Keep another package of GU in there. That's quick energy, not just as a food supplement, but also in case of a low blood sugar. My blood sugar doesn't drop low very often. I have a problem the other way, but it's there just in case. Blood glucose monitor, test strips, a couple of bags to put them in, caps for my insulin pump, needles, a way of getting a little bit of the blood, and a couple of alcohol prep pads, which are also multi-use type items. And that will suffice my needs, especially this time of year. So I've covered combustion, a cutting tool, cordage. I've taken care of my medical issues. My container is my canteen that's carried on my side, usually in a sling or in a haversack, and any cover would be in that I would need as far as any adverse weather conditions. Of course, this time of year, worrying about getting cold and wet is just not an issue. It's about 9,000 degrees out here right now in eastern Virginia, and not quite, but it feels like it most days because the humidity has just been so daggone high here lately. Getting cold is the least of your worries. But if nothing else, I usually throw a 55-gallon drum liner in there. It's lightweight, takes up no space in the haversack, and it's just good for so many different things. Tons of reviews on that, but that takes care of your cover element. So as you can see, I've got a lot of the C's covered in a very small kit, and this all fits in here very nicely. But the biggest reason that I started carrying a little belt pouch was just so I would have a place other than a cargo pocket to put that blood glucose monitor and any of the medical supplies that I would need as far as some supplemental food goes. Food is not a very high priority for most people when they go out into the bush. It's said that most people can go several weeks without food, and that is true for most people. Most of us have plenty of fat reserves that we can live off of, and we might get hungry and grumpy, but it's not going to kill us. But when you have a medical condition that requires medicine and food, I think it only advantageous to keep that with you. There's many different food items that we can carry with us that would make our survivability in the event of an unforeseen accident, just an uncomfortable little while out in the woods until we can find our way out. I got this bag, I've gone through several, and this is actually the largest of the ones that I've tried. And the reason that it's a little bit larger than what it needs to be, it does flop around on my side a little bit, but when we're out teaching classes, if I'm running a compass course or what have you, it's a place that I can put my compass. It's also a place that I can throw some extra snack items if I'm just planning on having a snack while I'm out there. and I can take my insulin pump out of the pouch and actually put it in here. And the way it's designed, the tube runs out and it actually replaces that piece of equipment on my belt, so I don't have multiple things on each side. So when I'm out, I wind up with this belt pouch on one side, my knife on the other, and usually my canteen in my haversack, which kind of slings over my back, and I'm pretty well covered. So thanks for joining me. I hope you found this beneficial. If you don't have a belt pouch and it's one that you're considering, I hope that you consider that medical aspect to it. If you normally carry medicine, or if you normally use medicine, anything that you would carry or that you would need for a 72-hour scenario, a belt pouch would be a great place, a great way for you to keep that with you so you don't forget it when you go out and enjoy nature. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. Until next time, God bless.